Picture. Dear students, I am Dr. B.K. Jha, Faculty, Department of Agricultural Extension and Communication, Faculty of Agriculture, Birsa Agriculture University, Ranchi. I am your course instructor on Fundamentals of Agricultural Extension Education. This course has been included in BSc Honours Agriculture as per the recommendations of 5th DINS Committee. The course contents are very innovative, up to date, holistic. But at the same time, the contents are packed, which will keep the students and teacher on toe during the entire semester period. The background of this course is that, as I have already told you that this is as per the recommendations of 5th DINS Committee, the course has been included in second semester and the credit hours has been increased to 3, that is 2 plus 1. 2 means 2 indicates theory and 1 indicates practical. As far as career of the students is concerned, this course is very important because whatever grade you get in this 3 credit course, it will be reflected in your grade point average and overall grade point average. So for your information, you should take the course very seriously so that the overall grade point of the student is not reduced and you could pass the BSc AG course with good marks. Yeah, coming down to theory, the first content is related to education and the meaning of education, definition and types. Students, you might have come across the word education because you are already in educational process. So what is education? Education is basically the production of desirable behavior. And when we talk of education, it is related to changing behavior of the people. And what is behavior? Behavior is our response to a particular situation. So what we do in a particular situation reflects our behavior. Now, extension education. One prefix is added before education. The extension education is a well-developed discipline. During the period of the course, you will be learning how this extension education is different from education. But in the beginning, you should conceive that education is changing behavior. Of course, extension education is a discipline but that aims at and that studies the behavior change of the people. So extension education aims at how this extension work is being carried out, and knowledge of that extension work, extension service comes within the purview of extension education. So under extension education, we will be studying the meaning, definition, scope and process, objectives and principles of the extension education. Every discipline, every profession has objectives because it has to be relevant to the society. So it has certain objectives. And work that is to be undertaken within the purview of the discipline, that profession, has to be guided by certain principles. So principle is the guiding force, the guiding statement within which the extension work has to be executed. Now, extension systems in India. When we talk about the extension systems, we have different types of systems in the country. We have federal structure in which central government is at the top. So it has certain branches, certain institutions, certain systems of its own through which it undertakes the extension activities. Now we have well-developed system of State Department of Agriculture. You might have come across the word Department of Agriculture. That is in various states and it is considered one of the important departments of the state because it is largely linked with the larger number of people of the society, that is farming community. So under extension systems, the extension efforts have to be studied. And this is for your information that Men are very inquisitive and generous. Whenever they see the problems of their fellow man, they come out to serve those people. Even during Corona period, you might have been experiencing that people are giving donations, people are offering services to the persons who are suffering due to Corona. So during a pre-independence period, when the government, because we were under British government, they didn't take much initiative for the betterment of the farming community. So there were certain philanthropists like Rabindranath Tagore who undertook certain activities for the welfare of the farming community. So under this course, we will study the Sriniketan approach, the Marthandam approach, the Firka development scheme, the Gurgaon experiment, etc. When the government got independence, it has started its own activities. And at the very initial stage of our independence, we have the big program like Etawah pilot project, the Nilokeri project. Now under various departments of the government, we have already seen that the major components of the system, the major systems are the ICAR and Government of India. So we will study the programs that has been undertaken by Indian Council of Agricultural Research and Government of India. The Government of India programs like IADP, Intensive Agricultural District Program, Intensive Agricultural Area Program, High Yielding Variety Program, then National Demonstration Project. And by ICAR, which is the coordinating body of research and education in the country, it has sponsored certain programs like KVKs, Krishi Vigyan Kendras, Institution Village Linkage Program, Operational Research Projects, NATP, National Agricultural Technology Project, National Agriculture Innovation Project, etc. Now we see that agriculture system is dynamic. It is changing due to various factors. That is change in technology, change in clientele, change in government policy, change in market, change in climate. So the programs need to be changed accordingly. So under extension, we also have to study the new trends. You might have heard the spurt of IT revolution in the country. So how this IT can be incorporated into the extension activities, we will study the cyber extension or e-extension, electronic extension. At the same time, we are self-sufficient. Self-sufficiency means not only we are able to meet the food requirement of the countryman, but we are also catering to the needs of industries. Like you know that the cane industries, the cotton industries, the fruits and vegetable industries are directly dependent on the produce of the agriculture. So we will study market-led extension. Why market-led extension? Because production is not our concern now. Farmers are producing much, but they are not adequately compensated by the profit. So what interventions should be taken so that farmers could harvest greater benefits from the market? There has been reports that farmers' share in consumers' rupees is minimal. So by what strategy we should increase the farmers' share in the rupees offered or given by the consumers? So we have market-led extension. We have already moved from production-led to market-led extension. Our Honorable Prime Minister has already given the call that by 2020, the income of the farmers has to be doubled. So this could be the big strategy, the market-led extension, in extension domain, by which we can increase the income of the farmers. Then of course, farmer-led extension. We know that communication best takes place amongst equals. Because farmers have greater interaction the greater level of communications between themselves. So how best we can use the progressive farmers, the enterprising farmers in extension activities so that technologies reaches the maximum number of the farmers effectively. So we have the farmer-led extension. Again, the expert systems. It is an outcome of IT revolution in the country. The extension experts guide the farmers in various production-related activities, market, about various government programs. So how this expertise can be imitated by the IT system. So that IT system will be guiding the farmers like an expert. So it has basically the IT component and which we develop certain logic by which the extension officer advised the farmers, and we just imitate those logic, and by application we develop certain system which is known as expert system.
Start.
Yeah. Rural development is a major component of extension education. In fact, we can say that they are intricately interlinked. When we talk about rural development, we have something in our mind that there is something in rural areas. So rural development indicates the development of rural areas and rural people. Because there are two broader concepts about rural development. One is focused on rural areas and another is focused on rural people. And so different types of strategies are to be formulated to cater to the two targets. So under rural development, we will be studying the concept, we will have concept, the meaning and definition. Then various rural development programs launched by Government of India. In fact, at the very initial stage of our independent India, the Government of India launched Community Development Project in 1952. And for your kind information, this is the program which created an institution like block. Initially, we called it CD block, Community Development Block, but the institution served such a big purpose that after that, that institution, that is block, is continuing till today, and future also it will continue. So this is the biggest contribution of Community Development Project as an institutional intervention. Leadership, we often take it in very negative sense. But if you understand the real meaning of leadership, you will assess the importance of leadership in every walks of life. And what is leadership? Leadership is the process of guiding behavior. Leadership is the process of guiding people. And who is leader? Who guides a group of people for a particular act, for a particular purpose. So rural leaders play a big role in extension activities. You can conceive in that way that if we train a leader, we are training his followers also. Because whatever decisions are taken by the group is influenced by the leaders. So the development of leadership and utilization of rural leadership in extension activities is of paramount importance. So under rural leadership, we will be studying the concept, the definition, types of rural leaders, and their activities, their contribution in rural development. We know that every organized activities have to coordinated by certain system. And when we have organization, we have management, we have administration. So if we look at the Department of Agriculture, we have director, we have a district director, we have deputy director, we have district agricultural officer, we have DO agriculture, we have block agricultural officer, and at the grassroots level, there is provision for village level workers. So these BLWs are the backbone of rural development process. Of course, they have been appointed for agriculture purpose, but they are being utilized for other rural development purpose also. So under extension administration, we will be studying the organizational structure, the principles and functions of the extension administration. Now we come to monitoring and evaluation. Of course, these words are also very common. In class, you have monitor. And what is the function of that monitor? He reports the activities of the group to the class teacher, to the principals, to the peers. So, in extension program planning concept also, monitoring is the process to overseeing the day-to-day activities of an extension program. And evaluation is the assessment of the effect of that program. So both monitoring and evaluation are very important, because during monitoring we check the activities whether that is going in the right direction or not, and whatever activities we have undertaken, whether it served the purpose, whether it had some tangible impact on the society. So under evaluation we will be dealing with that. So under monitoring and evaluation we will go through the concept, definition, and various steps that need to be taken under extension programs as far as monitoring and evaluation are concerned. Transfer of technology. In fact, we often compare between extension and transfer of technology. So in the beginning, it is sufficient to know that extension is an educational activity. And transfer of technology is beyond that. Under transfer of technology, we have provisions for supply and services also. If we educate the farmers that you grow this variety that is high yielding, how this farmer will be accessing those technology, those seeds, those package of practices. So naturally, the input services has to be ensured. And along with that, certain services like soil testing, water testing, disease and pest diagnosis are need to be supplemented with extension activities. So under transfer of technology, we will study the concept and models and capacity building of extension personnel. We know that agriculture is very dynamic, and every now and then the technologies keep on changing. So the extension workers, the personnel need to be updated with the technologies, the extension methodologies, so that they could be effective in their services. And how these extension activities are undertaken. Under extension teaching methods, we will be studying the various methods. Broadly, this is individual method, group method, and mass contact method. Of course, these three methods are important on their own perspectives, on their own context. Through mass contact method, we can reach large number of people simultaneously with low cost. And as long as we move up to group method, it involves some cost. And again, for individual contact method, it is again involved a cost. So traditionally, the individual contact method, that is visit to his farm, visit to his home, farm and home visit, was a costly intervention. Now we have certain technologies through which we can interact with the individuals also through phone, through mobile, through SMS. Then group activities are again important, because if we have to teach this skill, the training and demonstrations are very important. So training and demonstrations come under the group method, and mass contact methods include the TV, the radio, the print media, the newspapers, the magazines. Again, media mix strategies. We have n number of methods. We have n number of tools. And these all the tools are not suitable for all the situations, for all the groups, for all the individuals. Then it is up to the extension administrator, the planner, how do we develop a media mix. So because no individual media is competent enough to serve all the purpose, a combination of media has to be prepared for a particular situation, for a particular group. For example, we have leaflet, we have folder, we have radio, we have mobile. Then how should we mix it? And how should we use it? Whether that should be used in a series manner or it should be used in a parallel way. So under media mix strategy, this is big exercise, and we will dealing with this in of practical importance also. So under media mix strategy, we will be combining the media, developing the media mix. Communication. The community cannot be conceived without communication. We have different types of communication, different levels of communication. The animals have the communication through different types of sound. Certain insects have chemical communication. So when the intricacies or complexities of the group increases, the communication plays vital role. So how this communication should be undertaken? The principles, the models are of importance to the extension workers. How to develop the communication skill, the communication competence, so that they could be fruitful to the farming community, so that they could communicate effectively with their clients. So under communication, we will be dealing with the meaning and definition, models and barriers to communication. Now, agriculture journalism. It is again the part of communication. Do you know about journalistic process? You must have read the newspaper. You must be watching television. You must be listening radio. So these all involve certain journalistic process. The journalistic process is collection of news, preparation of news for a particular media, editing, proofreading, then developing the content, finalizing the content, printing, publishing, and distributing the content to the clients. So these all steps involve the journalistic process. Now, diffusion and adoption. What we do in agriculture research has to be taken to the farmers. It has to diffuse to the farmers. You can see the great example of diffusion, because this is also taught in biology and chemistry, biochemistry also. When we put some droplets of perfume, there is fragrance of that perfume in the entire room, entire hall. So this is the example of diffusion. Again, the technology is like a perfume that diffuses to the social system. And again, adoption is at individual level. It is a mental process that the individual takes decision to adopt the innovation on a full scale. So under diffusion and adoption, we will be studying the concept and meaning, process and the stages of adoption. And again, all the individuals do not adopt the technology at the same time. There is time variation in adoption of technology between different categories of people, and which give rise to adopters categories. It is often questioned about the relevance of practical in extension education. But we extension professionals need some skills which are of practical importance. We deal with clients, we deal with farming community. Like other agricultural scientists who deal with technology, the different systems, we deal with farmers directly. So we should have certain skills for the effectiveness of our profession. So under the practical course, we will study the university extension system. students, we have different types of systems, and university extension system is one of them. In every state agriculture university, there is one Directorate of Extension Education, which is headed by Director Extension Education, assisted by Additional Director Extension Education, Deputy Directors, and recently one ETIC Agricultural Technology Information Center has been established. As far as the outreach of the university extension system is concerned, every state agriculture university has a big network of Krishi Vigyan Kendras. If we go by the functions of university extension system, every university brings out the Kisan Diary, which is considered Ramayana, Gita and Bible for the farmers, because it encompasses all the technologies developed by the university which can be used effectively by the farmers for their betterment. The extension professionals also need to have control over the group discussion exercise. Group discussion generates different viewpoints, and that helps in taking appropriate decision. So the extension professionals should have expertise in conducting group discussion exercise. Traditionally, we had certain equipments to be handled by the extension workers, like projector, epidiascope, transparency projector, overhead projector. Recently, with the inclusion of IT, we have now digital camera, video camera, mobile phone, then community radio. And traditionally, the items, the tools that were used were extension literature that include the leaflet, the booklet, the folder, pamphlet, and the extension professionals also prepare news stories and success stories. So in all these items, the extension professionals should have expertise. As I have already told, that we deal with farmers, we deal with extension professionals, we deal with extension workers, and to convince them to bring home our ideas, to transfer our ideas into their mind, we need to have an effective presentation skills. So besides this presentation skills, we will also be studying the micro teaching exercise. Village is laboratory for extension workers, the extension professional, the extension students, because that decides the fate of the technology. Scientists can boast of developing a good technology, but whether that technology is useful to the farmers, it is judged by the farmers. It is judged by their situations, their socio-economic situation, their geographical situation, their technological situations. So the village serves as laboratory. It is expected that the students will visit the village, understand the problems of the farmers, study their situations, and that will help them in developing and coming out with good plans. District Rural Development Agency is the coordinating body for rural development activities at district level. So a visit to the DRDA and understanding their organizational structure and functioning is of vital importance. Non-government organizations have been playing a great role in extension and rural development work. It is not exaggeration that in certain spheres their performance is better than that of government organizations. So the study, the functioning, the organizational structure and activities of NGOs are also included in the practical. Participatory rural appraisal has emerged as a good technique for assessment and planning. So under this course also, you will be exposed to the different tools and techniques of participatory rural appraisal. Then mass media. This is an era of media. There is point of radio, FM radio, community radio, a number of channels or TV channels are there, a number of newspapers have come out. So whether these media are actually beneficial to the farmers, what are their contents, whether they are relevant for the farmers. So the understanding the functioning of media, different types of media, including this community radio station and television studio, and understanding the process of program production is of paramount importance. As an extension professional, we have to write a script for the newspapers, the magazines, the radio, the television. The contents may be the same, but the delivery and presentation varies. So for every media, there are different techniques for writing a script. So we will be also practicing the script writing for different